Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Jupiter Rescue. Let's check it out. Setup for the game is very simple. What you're going to do is take out these tiles and randomly put them around a circle. You'll start with the center one, put one ring around it, and then one ring around the rest. You're going to put these little humans on the center tiles here, and then you have this space pod. It will start with all the robots. You can have up to 7 players in this game. Wow. And the pod can go anywhere on the board you want. Once it fills up with 7 of these humans, it will go off the board, and then you can place it again anywhere around the satellite you want to. You'll also have this colonist loss tracker here. This will signify the end of the game. If you, every time a space creep, these are the space creeps here, every time they inhabit a place that is right next to another one, and it says this on the player turn player aid here, they will convert that human. Now you see they're going to be a chain reaction pretty soon every turn thereafter if you don't stop that quickly. But every time they eat one of these colonists, you'll place them right here, and again if it gets to the center, which it can pretty quick, you will lose the game. This is a co-op game here. It's very simple to play. Setup, you grab a character. Let's say I'm the orange player and I have the orange token here. It's just a little plastic poker chip here. Everyone is dealt 2 cards. They'll look at these 2 cards and they'll pick one to be their permanent power, whatever they want it to be. And the cards are self-explanatory here. So if I wanted that to be my permanent power, I place it on the board with my poker chip on it, I will always have that power in the game. Now next time, if I want to play a card, it's only for that one turn, whereas the other one is for the entire game. Now the gameplay is very simple. It says, hey, right here, you get 5 player actions. What can those actions be? Well, those actions can be moving your robot. So I go 1, 2, 3. Or it could be moving another colonist. Now to move a colonist, you need to be at least 1 tile adjacent from them. So I can say, hey, here's the escape pod. 4, 5. Okay? Now again, if I was to get 7 colonists on this board here, okay, let's say I got 7 colonists, then it would go off, they'd be rescued, they'd go in my rescued pile over here, and then you could move the pod anywhere around the board you wanted to. And hey, if there are robots in that pod, they can move with the pod as well. After all that, after you take your actions, of course you'll have that conversion. Like I said, you'll look around the board, and if there are any of these creeps next to a human, it will take that human's place, and you'll put another creep in its place because they'll slowly infest the colonists there. After that, you're going to roll for an invasion. This is a 6-sided die. Whatever you roll, you will place a creep in each one of those levels that are on the outside ring here. So for creeps, I have a 2, and I only see 1 here. Now again, randomly set up, you can set this up a different way. There should be another 2 out there. If there was, I'd put 1 on that square too. But if it's a 6, then you will put out a creep in every tile where there already is a creep, if there's space available. What I mean is, once a tile completely fills up with creeps, I mean it's completely jettisoned from the game, meaning I guess it just blew up because creeps just infested it. You don't have to worry about them infesting the rest of these, but boom, then it blows up and everyone's gone, and that tile is lost to the game. Another way you can lose is if you don't have, like if this was the last 2 in the game, then the game's over. You must have at least all the numbers on your big satellite here, 1 through 5. If you lose a tile that you don't have a number for, then it'll be an automatic loss as well. Now, after that, then you're going to draw a card. And you can have up to 4 cards in your hand unless you get something like this. Oh no, these are setback cards, and they usually are bad things. They'll say, hey, add a second creep to all those places you just added to. Or it'll say, hey, add a super creep, and this is a super creep here. And it'll say, add them to power surge places where there aren't players. So if I was here, usually it's where these 3s are is where they would go in the middle, but if I have a droid there, he won't go there. He'll pop up in the other places. Same thing, there's another card that says, hey, on the 4 tiles, the satellite dishes, you'll have a creep pop up on each one. And the thing, unless there's a robot there. So again, if there's a robot here, then there'd be creeps there, and we'd be safe. Now, What do creeps do? Well, creeps limit the cards in your hand. Not your permanent card, but the cards you can have in your hand, which is 4. So if there's 2 here, then we can only have 2. Well, at that moment, everyone must discard down to 2. They can't play cards at that point. It's too late. They have to discard down to 2. Or sometimes 1 or none. They'll get no other cards now in their hand, you know. So it really behooves you to start killing off these super creeps just so you can increase get your hand limit back to normal. Now, the game ends when you're able to save 28 colonists. And like I said, if you lose too many tiles and you don't have enough numbers you don't have all the numbers on your tile, you'll lose. Or most likely, this colonist tracker will get to the 0 there, or the 29, meaning there's not enough colonists to save 28. Now, to make this game a little bit harder, the game has 2 sides. This is the easy side. This is the hard side. How can you tell? As you see, the pods aren't as connected as they are. Here's 5, which is usually the most difficult. It zigzags. But if you put it on difficulty level, dang, they don't even connect there. They'll just connect to other ones. It just makes it hard to maneuver around the satellites. So you can flip half of them over and deal them out like that, or all of them over if you want a really hard game. Tears really well in difficulty. And that's the game. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, folks, I love Twilight Creations, mainly for their zombies games. And when they were giving away free promos of zombies, if you bought something in their store, that's when I found this. Now, I remember when this game came out, I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's not zombies, I'm not interested. But then looking at it this year, I was like, well, that may be fun. So I got it. It's a co-op game. My group isn't into co-ops. I love them, but my group doesn't. And this is a little bit different, meaning it's really fun. You're trying to fight other people, you know, and the space freaks, and it's very smooth. I mean, this game is super easy. You're moving, and it feels like you're in a rush. It feels like you're in an emergency. You're playing cards to do special moves, or moving people toward the escape pod. All the while, you're just blasting freaks left and right, you know. An awesome action is to get on a tile full of freaks and just blow them away, right? 5 actions, 5 shots, 5 kills. You never miss. You're a robot. And we found that was a lot of fun. Now, we only lost once, and maybe we should, you know, and we've played it 3 times, so we lost twice and we won once. And no, we lost once and won twice, excuse me. So next time I am going to shuffle half of the tiles to make it a little bit harder, but at the same time, we were having a blast. We were having an absolute blast. The game can get away from you. The first time we played it, we were kind of just focusing on getting the humans out. You know, let the space freaks go. It's just going to blow up the tile anyway. But then the humans started getting infected, and you lose quick. Once that infection starts, it spreads throughout the satellite there, and if you do not put a stop on it, you will lose. The game will go like that. And I love that too, because the last game we played, the infection started coming in, and it was a race against the clock to get the last 7 people out before everyone on the space station got infected. Like I said, super thematic. I'm really surprised about that. And I really like it. I really think it's a lot of fun it's a cramped satellite too. You can't walk through another droid. You can't walk around a human. You have to move out of their way and have them move down. And it makes this feeling of you're being cramped, and these, you know, space creeps are coming out of nowhere and popping up, you know, and oh man, when the super creeps come out, and they're not harder to kill. They're one shot too. But the thing is, that's going to decrease your hand limit, and you need those cards. You know, there's some good cards you were saving up. I forgot to show you on the top of the cards, there's these icons that will tell you what other card best combos with it. So you want to find those matching icons to create an awesome combo. I really like that. I think that's smart. So should you get the game? Yes. Yes, surprisingly, yes. Game retails for $30, and I mean that's the cheapest you're going to find it, because no one's putting up copies of this, because everyone, I guess, is happy with the game. Really fun game. Super surprised by that one. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on!